and Pitt's struggles are very well documented. I don't even think they're going to make the NIT now, Bob.
I don't either, not the way they're playing. And they have Virginia tomorrow. That's not going to be an easy assignment. As far as Duquesne, I still think they can get to 20 wins, but I thought they could have done that by now. And it may not happen tomorrow. You wonder where it's going to go after that. Let's go to the lines, 412-575-2600. Dave in Du Bois is up first on line 3. What's up, Dave?
Hi, Dave.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, man.
Yeah, I wanted to find out what your thoughts were on the potential add of a forward. I was reading in the PG. Rutherford's looking to potentially add a forward to the Penn's roster. Just maybe some thoughts on some names that are possibly out there.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this on our Facebook prior to this. Thanks, Dave. I'm looking for, if I'm them, a bottom 6 player, somebody who can come in and help them do some of the dirty work required. Of course, the Penguins know how important a third line is. They have a pretty good third line with the Bluger line with Tanev and Aston Reese, but he's hurt. They need more help below that, so they'll be looking. But, you know, a name, Joe Thornton, has been popping up. Pony, he's 40 years old. He only has 2 goals. I mean, yeah, he's a guy who has a lot of experience. The Penguins denied him in 2016 when he was with the Sharks, still is with the Sharks. That's not the way to go. Any other names you've heard?
Yeah, I'll tell you one that Josh Yohe posited, and I don't think he just pulled it out of thin air. They're going to be here tomorrow, and he's won Stanley Cups with the Penguins. How about Connor Sherry, who was in the final year of his contract? He's been, you know, up and down the lineup in Buffalo, Bob. You know he can play with Sid. You know he can play, you know, not your classic fourth line role. If he's out of the lineup in the press box for consecutive games, you trust him to come back in. And so there's a comfort factor there. I don't think Buffalo's going to demand very much for him, Bob. He's a guy that I think is very low risk, and we've seen him make some clutch plays for the Penguins in the past.
He certainly has, and he still has that ability to do it. It's just not being offered up so much in Buffalo, which got off to a good start this year, but they're not the same team right now, and we'll see what they have. I want to mention one other thing. I teased this, and Andrew, get your take on it. We're getting into, pretty soon, free agency in football. Javon Hargrave is one of the guys you'll hear a lot about. Bud Dupree gets all the attention because they're probably going to have to spend a lot of money and franchise tag him. However, Hargrave has really developed, and now he's putting himself in a position where he's going to get a big payday. The question is there any way the Steelers can bring him back? And if not, which team he goes to?
Well, Pro Football Focus said the Ravens, which just
wouldn't that be interesting?
Made me want to throw up because it would be robbing from you, and it would be making a team that went 14-2 last year even better, Bob. I don't see a way they keep him. The projected salary I've seen from him is $12 million. The Steelers are in the red right now. I mean, they're even, in terms of cap space, they're cap compliant, but only because the new league year hasn't started yet. So I don't think you can do it because you've already paid Tuitt and Hayward on your defensive line. And you're going to have to pay Watt eventually.
Unless they decide Tuitt is somebody expendable, which I don't personally. I like Stephon Tuitt, but he's had his injury issues.
And I've been one of the people that has said that, but there's been no indication from the Steelers that they're interested in releasing him. So that, to me, is a total pipe dream. No, I think they're going to lose a guy that has gotten better every year, and Hargrave's always available. He's always healthy.
He is. I have a tweet here from Jeremy Hillman at KD Pomp at the Pony Express. He says, it looks more and more like the Steelers should draft a tight end instead of signing via free agency. Well, the problem with that is you're going to get a second-round pick, no first, no third. You get a compensatory third. I don't know what's available that deep, and if you think normally you get a third, fourth round tight end, he's going to be what we've seen from Jesse James to Zach Gentry, not necessarily the guy who can come right in and help you right now. And I think they need someone who can help them right now, which leads us to free agency. So, Andrew, Vance McDonald's still on the roster. He's going to cost more. Is he a guy who's going to remain on this roster, or do you think they should look elsewhere in free agency?
Well, I think they should look elsewhere, but if I'm a betting man, which you know I am, where are we in the FanDuel Sportsbook fan cave here? I think they will keep McDonald, because I feel like there's a loyalty here with the Steelers, Bob, that goes back to we get a mulligan because of Roethlisberger's injury. Ben loves Vance McDonald. Give Vance a second opportunity right off 2019, but that doesn't explain the injuries with McDonald. And I think he's had lingering injuries. He might have been able to play through them, but he hasn't been very effective.
All right, back to the lines we go. We have Downtown Bob joins us right now. Hey, Downtown Bob, what's going on? Hello, Bob, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go right ahead.
Listen. Hey, listen, I love you guys' show. You have a hell of a show. Good show.
Thank you.
Enjoy it a lot. and I'm so glad to reach to you and love the fan cave that you got going on there. But I'm going to tell you something. Big Ben runs this machine. But
Okay.
one thing I would like to mention is this XFL, where
Okay.
I love that league because they're giving everybody from the NFL a chance to get back to the NFL. They're giving coaches a chance to get back to the NFL. Everybody is under the spotlight to me. Even the roughs, everybody is under the spotlight. You got guys from college that didn't get drafted. Now these guys are getting a chance to show some of the teams
But that's
in the NFL
maybe
that
so,
they
but
should have been in.
they're trying to make it a viable entity, which I don't know that it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to fold after 1 year like it did the last time. AAF didn't last, 3 months?
I told you my idea with this, Bob. I think what the XFL, if it's going to work, it needs to become the AAA of the NFL. And if they're going to take away preseason games with this new CBA, then I think with the XFL, and maybe it wouldn't be in the spring, maybe it would be closer to the summer, Bob, I think it might serve as a breeding ground for some of these guys that are practice squad players or guys that just fill out preseason rosters. You know, those 90-man
Right.
that you have to learn and, you know.
Right. And they're going to take a game away from us. I don't like that, neither does Charlie Batch. Anyway, it's now time for our tweet of the day. We do this every single night, brought to you by Tri-State Office Supplies. And this comes to us from Eric, who's a regular viewer, and he wanted to know about Joe Thornton. He says, Joe Thornton is available. Would you go after him? And again, we talked about that earlier. My answer would be no, and you say?
I don't want the distraction. I don't want the win one for the Gipper. I think all eyes would be on Joe Thornton because he's never won a Stanley Cup and he's a Hall of Famer. And is he going to make the ultimate sacrifice of playing, 9-10 minutes?
Well, he might be motivated here. He has a good history of face-off percentage, although this year not so much. But now all of his stats are down this year. He's 40 years of age. That's our Tri-State Office Tweet of the Day, brought to you by Tri-State Office Supplies. And Eric, thank you very much for that. We're going to take a break, and we will come back with more. It's 412-575-2600. Call. Let us know what you think right here live on Pittsburgh CW.